if you were gonna start a cult, how would you do it?
Oh, start a cult. Well, I guess
what would your theology be, and how would you trick people into believing it? And what would the purpose of your cult be? I have so many questions.
I mean, I think fame and money are probably like the two biggest motivators of forming a cult. And God, I'd probably use the model of Christianity. They seem to be doing a pretty damn good job with their cult.
Well, but that one's already pretty established. How are you going to switch it up and trick people without them realizing that they're just following something that already exists?
Well, people are dumb. I mean,
I'm not going to say they're not, but you're going to reel in more people with a less believable or a more believable story.
Right. I mean, I'm not actually, I wouldn't actually go on the actual basis of Christianity. I would just kind of use that model. Something that, like promises people everything they want as long as they go ahead and follow this and, have sort of a foolproof backup plan to where whatever it is that I do come up with just explains away everything. And if it doesn't, then that's just...
So you write you write a really thick book on really low quality paper that is extremely vague about everything, so it can be interpreted any way you desire.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's a good move.
Yeah, like, everything good that happens, God is responsible for that. And then, if anyone tries to debunk that, well, that's just the devil trying to deceive you.
It's just the God is testing you.
Right. Yeah. Yep. It's God's test.
I know I told you your life would get better if you believed in God, and it's really shit right now, but that's because God is testing you.
Right.
Are you going to let God down? Okay, but let's talk like terminology. Like, okay, so you're still in their model, but obviously you can't like reuse the same like entities. So like what's your Father, Son, and Holy Ghost? What's that Trinity look like? What are you calling that?
Oh man. Geez, I haven't put too much thought into this. I've never really I'm just
bouncing. I'm trying to help you out here, trying to get you like a really solid foundation so we can really make this work.
I gotcha.
I mean, like, really, the skies are the limit. Scientology believes in something called Xenu, and people believe that, so.
Right. I don't know. I would say maybe beer drinking would be involved in it somehow. Like, maybe that would be like...
I was going to make a joke about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that would be like my
your blood of Christ is your is the like the froth of
taking communion would be like drinking a beer.
You got to shotgun it though, otherwise you're taking the Lord's name in vain.
Right, and you got to eat a steak to go along with it. That's like that's my body of Christ, I think, or maybe like a chicken wing. That'd be funnier.
Dude, I'm so signing up. This sounds sick. Every Sunday I'm drinking a beer and eating a steak.
Right? You don't even drink beer and you'd still join this, right?
Yeah, just for the steak alone.
Right. Hell yeah.
But of course, since I know you, I'd be a high-ranking member, so I'd be raking in the cash, right?
Right. Yeah, obviously.
So that's another reason I'd be in on it. I'd be, I'd down a beer once a week, even though I think it's gross if it meant I got mad cash and a steak every week.
Yeah. And, obviously, donations are not required, but, it's definitely looked, you definitely
down upon.
It's looked down upon if you don't, and you're looked upon more favorably if you do. But of course, it's not required.
Beer God said to be to always be you know, always crack a cold one with the boys, not alone.
Exactly. Do you have any ideas for a cult of your own?
You know, I just think I'd just go nuts with it. I come up with the craziest shit, man. I'd pull up One Piece as my holy book, and I'd be
Right.
like, this is a tale of the past, and the world has moved forward from this, but it's also, you know, history repeats itself, so it's coming back. There's gonna be devil fruits, but you can't eat of the devil fruit because that's to give yourself onto the devil, and we have to like prepare for fucking Joy Boy's return or whatever. The really, like, you know, the thing that a lot of cults do is they try to take advantage of people who need something to believe in, right?
Right.
So, you know, a big part of the story of One Piece is the idea that if you work hard enough at something, if you do your best, no matter what, like, good things will come. And so we just feed the fuck into that. We just feed the fuck into that and be like, you know, if you really dedicate yourself to Lord Oda and the tome of One Piece, you know, good things will come. Doesn't matter what else happens. Doesn't matter, like, anything, any outside force is not important. Just believe hard enough, and he'll be there for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm signing up. You got me as a pretty high ranking officer, I would assume. What sort of benefit am I getting out of this? Cash or
I mean, it's like you said, cults are all about the cash.
Right.
Some cults are all about the bitches. We can make out of the bitches too.
Sure. Why not? Oh, these cults sound great. They could maybe like work together. You know, a lot of times, you know, like cults or religions oppose each other, but maybe ours could work together for the greater good.
I think that's great, man. I think that's a wonderful message to spread.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to love each other, but only if we're, you know, only love
Cracking
each other.
cold when it's the boys and reading One Piece.
Right. Only love each other if it's another approved cult. If it's a cult approved cult.
That's the thing too. You got to isolate people from regular society so they never like catch on to the fact that they're being fucking scammed. So we have to make sure people know that, like, if they're not involved in like one of our two cults, like, that's no good. You can't associate with that person.
Right. You have to be inclusive and accepting, but only of people that are approved by your cult.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know what else? Like, another important part of like running a cult is like removing that sense of individuality, right? So how are you doing with that with your beer cult?
Ooh.
That's kind of a tough one.
Yeah.
You can only rep like brewery merch. You can't wear clothes that doesn't have a logo on it.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's a good starting point. You know, obviously since we eat steak every Sunday, you know, we have to although we are accepting of all people, we have to look down upon like vegans,
vegetarians and vegans.
Yeah, vegans, vegetarians. Yep.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
You know what else you could do? Like, you could require it that everybody wear steak bibs at all times.
I like it. Like if you get a lobster at a restaurant, you get a lobster bib.
Yeah, but just do it steak instead. Remember that episode of How I Met Your Mother where they started to do like the everyday bib thing?
Yes.
I forget what they called that, but yeah, just do that. Just have everybody wear bibs all the time.
Yeah.
That'll really unify everybody.
Right.
And isolate them from other people, because why the fuck would you wear a bib all day?
Right. You just want other people to know that, you know, you're part of the cult.
Yeah.
You know, like if you were to wear like a cross or some other sort of religious symbol.
The holy bib.
The holy bib, exactly. It's got a steak and a beer on it.
I feel like for my cult, it'd be real easy. Like, in order to remove that individuality, we just require that everybody wears straw hats, just like the main character of One Piece, and we rename everybody to character names from One Piece. Easy.
Oh, there you go. Done. I like it. I think we got a good base. I mean, we're only
got a good game plan here.
We're only like 10 minutes in, and we just came up with joining cults here. I like it.
Yeah, a couple of solid plans here.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, welcome everybody to the Breakroom Nachos Cult Podcast.
Yeah. You got a birthday coming up here in a couple days.
I do have that, yeah.
Yeah, after we record this, but you'll have turned older by the time this airs.
I mean, yes, but no, but yes. I mean, technically, you will have as well.
Well, yeah, you will have had a birthday pass by the time this airs.
Yes.
Nice. You're gonna be what, 24?
Yeah.
Damn, you could call that mid-20s, bro. How do you feel about that?
Whatever. You know, I'm at an awkward age right now. Like, I'm starting to write like this. I wrote into like part of my script for that like Dark Souls video idea. Part of what I wrote into it was like talking about like my history with video games, and I was thinking about like the games that I started with, and especially like thinking about like the time that I started playing Dark Souls, and I was like, you know, writing this, there's going to be some people watching this who are going to think I'm extremely young. There's also people who are going to be watching this who think I'm extremely old. I'm kind of at that awkward age where I'm both and neither at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I know what you mean, and I feel like the first time that I felt old, like genuinely old, I was 25, and I was talking about this with like a former boss of mine and her husband, and I think maybe we were out with some of their friends, and I was like, man, I'm 25. I feel so old. And the reason I felt old at the time is because the job that I had, we had just hired a bunch of people that were all like freshly 18. And
yeah.
You know, all these people I were with were like early to mid 30s, and they were like, you're 25, you're not old. And I was like, yeah, well, when everyone around you all day, every day is like 18, you feel old as shit. And they were like,
exactly.
They were like, oh, all right, that's fair. I'll give you that.
That's exactly what it is. Like, all of the like fresh adults are young enough that like I can't really relate to them anymore. But like my older coworkers are old enough that I'm still very young in their eyes. So yeah, it's just you're kind of both for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like your mid-20s are kind of that age. Like you're past college age, and you feel like you're kind of a real adult, but I also feel like you're probably not an actual adult until you like either approach or get to like 30. I mean, not that I even really feel like an adult, but
I mean, it's all about like how you feel and how you act, I guess. So I'm going to be like 12 years old forever because I still find these nuts funny, but you know.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But that's only because D's Nuts is funny.
Oh, that's always funny. That's never going to not be funny. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess like anytime you like look at anytime you come around to a birthday and you start thinking about like the new age that you'll have to tell people, it's kind of like this thing where you have to think about like you have to kind of think back to like where you thought your life would be by the time you were at that age, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I guess 24 isn't one of those numbers that I ever really thought about, but 23 on the other hand, like when I was like younger, when I was in like middle school, like I used to watch like YouTubers who were like 23, and I always thought 23 was like a really cool number. So I always liked the idea of being 23 because I was like, when I'm 23, I'm gonna be living like the kind of lives that they're living or whatever. And so when I turned 23, I was kind of excited. I was like, all right, I'm here. I'm 23, and I'm out of my parents' house. I'm living on my own. I moved to Oregon while I was 23. You know, I did get to do a lot of the stuff that I wanted to do by the time I was 23. So that felt good.
Nice. Sally, do you got any plans coming up for your birthday?
Nope. You know me. I'm not much of a celebrator.
I know. I figured I'd ask, didn't know. Maybe you had something going on.
Nope. Not a damn thing.
All right.
I don't have enough friends here that they're going to organize something for me. My friends in the Midwest know I don't really care that much. So, you know.
Right. Speaking of your friends out there, how's everything going with the barbecue food truck? I've been seeing a few social media posts by them.
They have their soft open very soon on Thursday, I believe. Actually, the same day as my birthday.
Oh, nice.
And I actually just saw her, the woman. I don't want to like say her name or whatever, but I don't think she'd care. But just in case, I just saw her and this morning actually, and she was talking about how like they got signed up for like some big festival that's happening over the summer. So like that's going to be huge for them, like big sales, big exposure. So that's great.
Hell yeah. Good on them, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm really excited for them, obviously.
Nice. I saw our old friends Bradley and Lindsay on Sunday. We got together at Bradley's and did a little grill and chill. So that was pretty cool. I haven't seen either of them in a while.
Nice.
Yeah, I think the last time I saw Bradley was for his birthday, which was back in November, and I couldn't even tell you the last time I saw Lindsay. So, yeah, that was really cool. It was really good to see them.
Nice. Yeah, I know you just said in a recent episode that you hadn't like spoken to Big B in a while. So how's he doing?
He's doing good. Him and his boyfriend Anthony live together.
Nice. Poggers.
Yeah.
Are they poggers?
Yeah, this is I knew they were living together, but this is the first time that I've been over to Bradley's since they have been cohabitating. So yeah, that was cool.
Does he still have his what is it, like the curtain in front of his door?
The beads.
Yeah, the beads.
The curtain of beads. Yeah, that's still there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the beaded room with the scented candles. And some incense burning,
Of course.
Yeah. That was cool. That was Sunday. And now I don't know what it's like by you, but it's getting to be hot as balls here.
It's pretty regularly in the 70s right now.
Ugh. Yeah, I think I want to say we hit like maybe mid 80s today, but tomorrow, I think my high tomorrow is supposed to be like 98.
Damn.
Yeah, and then like 92 or 94 on Thursday. So we got a couple days where it's just going to be hot as Satan's taint out there. So not looking forward to that one bit.
Hot as the beer devil's taint.
Right. Ugh.
What would the beer devil be? Sorry to bring this topic back, but now I'm curious. Like, what's like the antithesis of beer, do you think?
Ooh.
Is it just like wine?
No, I mean, I guess we would still kind of, I guess, be accepting of wine. And, you know, like, really all types of alcohol we would kind of accept. The non-alcoholic devil. Yes. Yeah. Maybe milk. Milk is just gross.
Yeah, dude, this is a great opportunity for you to like ban milk. No one will be able to like bring it into your church.
Yeah, milk is just gross. I don't get why people drink it.
Oh, dude, this works for both of us. Like because the main character of One Piece is like a massive meat fan. Like he only eats meat. So I can use my cult to just ban veggies.
There you go. And see that's our crossover is the meat eating.
Yeah.
Like,
brilliant.
You know, people in my cult don't have to read One Piece, and people in your cult don't have to drink beer, but the Venn
neither of them can eat veggies.
Right, neither can eat veggies, and the Venn diagram intersects at eating meat together.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Look at how this is all coming together.
It's organizing beautiful. We've got like a real thing here.
Yeah, this is fucking great. Oh God, I love it. I love this so much. Oh, damn. That's awesome. I didn't think we were going to talk about cults this much, but when it's appropriate,
I thought it'd be a fun topic.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be a fun topic for us.
Yeah.
I mean, we're both clearly charismatic and handsome enough to start a cult, so I figured, you know, we got to figure out the details.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to take us very long. We're a couple pretty smart, savvy individuals. We can smooth talk some dum-dums into believing whatever the hell we spin.
I mean, I convinced people to tier 3 sub to me just by making fun of how poor they are, so.
Yeah, there you go. I like it.
Speaking of Austin, like, we got to give another shout out to Austin because he hasn't, like, stopped tier 3 subbing. Like, I thought it was going to be a 1 month thing for the joke, but he keeps resubbing for $25 a month.
Really? How many months is he on now?
3 months.
Damn, bro's giving you 75 big ones?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Good on you, Austin. Damn.
What a gamer.
And again, he has a hot mom, so that's always
that's just a plus.
Yeah, that's just a plus. Oh, that's cool. So a little update on the PS4 Destiny.
Yeah.
I went to plug it in, and apparently I got some misinformation on the internet, and the power cable for the PS2 does not fit into the PS4. So
oh, really?
I tried, but was unable to actually test it. There may have been different. I know there were different versions of the PS2, so maybe it was accurate for some, but not for all.
Maybe because that I feel like that's right, but I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I may just like throw that bitch up on the internet as like, hey, this is untested. I can't tell you if it works. Go ahead and offer
it's pretty
me money
cool
for it. Yeah. Because I mean, even if it does work, like those controllers have to be what, at least like $50.
Do you have like the Destiny controllers too?
No, it's literally just the console with nothing else.
Oh, I'm confused. Are you saying like you wouldn't want to keep it because the controllers are expensive?
Yeah, I'm saying like even if I plug it in and it works, I'm looking at like another hundo for a couple controllers and then start buying games. So I feel like at that point it's almost better to just buy a working used unit. But
yeah, that's valid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have bought like a couple the PS5. Like, it's so funny how like that's been such a shift now that like online gaming is a thing. Like you used to buy a console and you get two controllers because you know the expectation is that there's at least a chance to be playing with other people on it. But
Right.
like when I bought my PS5, it's just the one controller. Same with PS4.
That's so strange to me. Yeah, you can see where my mind goes. Like online gaming is, I mean, I've done it because you could do it with the PS2. Mine had like a modem.
Yeah, you had to get the adapter.
Yeah. By the time I got mine, it already came with a modem. Or the adapter, whatever you want to call it. Because I remember SOCOM was like a big deal. I think I got like the SOCOM pack. And I played that a few times, but yeah, for the most part, it was like you either played like a one-player game by yourself or you needed someone to come over and like play with you in your home.
Not anymore.
Right. And if you had a party, you had to get like I think they call it like a multi-tap where you could put like extra controllers into it.
I think that I remember seeing those. I think that's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Back in the day, I know like the Nintendo N64 and probably GameCube would let you hook like 4 controllers directly into the console, I know. But yeah, PlayStation you had to get like an adapter to add more than just the 2 controllers. So that's
I mean
that's the
that is
saga.
That is one advantage of like going wireless with the controllers. You just like hook it up or you just like get it set up to work with the console and you can fucking connect as many as you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, maybe this is because I'm really going to date myself here, but maybe it's because most of my video game playing was, like PS2 and earlier. So the majority of it was earlier. So the few times that I have played with a wireless controller, I find it really awkward and don't like it.
We talked about this a bit when Kanan was on because he has the same issue, but I have never noticed.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think it's just an old person thing.
Yeah, I do vaguely remember us talking about that now that you mention that. Yeah, the corded controller, I was a big fan of that.
I've never noticed like any issue whatsoever personally.
Huh. Well, I don't know. Maybe you're just so used to like PC gaming that you don't really notice it.
Yeah, I mean, like most of I don't know, I guess technically speaking, my earliest like gaming knowledge is I had an NES when I was a kid. So that was like my first console was an NES, even though like other consoles were out by the time I was born. But for the most part, like most of my like actual like career as a gamer, like a proper gamer rather than just someone who has played a couple of games, has been during the age of wireless controllers and most of my experiences on PCs. So
Right.
I will say though, I have adopted controllers a lot more as I've gotten older. I used to hate controllers because they would make my hands cramp up, and they still kind of do. But there is like undoubtedly some games that just play better on consoles.
Okay.
Like the FromSoft games that I love so much. Those are famously known for being terrible on a PC.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, the way it's controlled is just not designed for mouse and keyboard. You really can't play those games without a controller. You can technically, but it's a very poor experience.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. I would imagine, and maybe it's because I've only really ever tried, but I would imagine sports games would be kind of hard to play with like a keyboard?
I really don't know because I haven't played a lot of them. Here's my opinion on them right now, and this is not like a, you know, end all be all definition. You know, there's always exceptions to any rule, but generally speaking, first person games play better on mouse and keyboard. Third person games play better on controller.
Okay, all right, I'll take your word for it, but I guess I can see that. That kind of makes sense.
The main reason that I say that is because like with first person games, and especially like first person shooters, like you have to spend a lot of time like controlling the camera, so to speak. You have to spend like a lot of time like looking around at stuff, and especially in shooter games, like you have to like be aiming directly at something quite a bit. And so the main reason I say that is that as someone who didn't really play with controllers a lot when I was younger, and as someone who played PC games more when I first became a PC gamer, I find it much easier to like move the mouse to point in whatever direction I need to. Whereas like using the thumbsticks on a controller always feels really imprecise and slow for me.
Okay.
But then like on third person games, camera controls are less important, but movement controls are more important. And so the amount of control you have when it comes to movement in a game is much greater with a thumbstick than it is over using, you know, WASD, because with WASD, you're really limited to like those 4 directions, or really like 8 directions, right? You have the 4 directions, forward, back, left, and right, and then you have like the in-between directions when you push 2 of them.
Right.
But with a thumbstick, you have full 360 control. So, you know, if you're driving a car in a game, if you're flying a ship in a game, if you're just walking around in a third person game, you have greater control when you have a thumbstick.
Yeah, that makes sense. My only real first person shooter experience would be well, the legendary GoldenEye. That game is freaking awesome. For the
I had never played it. I don't think it would work for me.
I mean, it probably wouldn't. But I grew up with that, and that game was pretty epic at the time. And then as I previously mentioned, SOCOM, and I got into Red Dead Revolver when that was a thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I never got into Redemption. It took so long for that one to come out that I was already done gaming by the time that came out.
And then it took a ton of time for Red Dead 2 to come out too.
I'll take your word for it.
It came out in 2019, I believe.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. So that's
Red Dead 2 is an interesting game. Sorry. Yeah, we can keep talking about this. I was gonna tangent, but
I didn't really have much to say. But if you got something interesting, go for it, bro.
Well, it's not really interesting. It's just like something I like to complain about every chance I get because it actively pisses me off. So I picked up Red Dead 2 at some point, and I had it in my library for a long time before I played it. But I did eventually start to play it. I played like 8-ish hours, and I was enjoying it. It wasn't my favorite game, but I did enjoy it. I was interested in playing it some more, but not long after I started playing Red Dead 2, Ghost of Tsushima came out, which is a game that I was much more interested in playing. So when Ghost of Tsushima came out, it completely dominated my playtime for a bit, and I stopped playing Red Dead 2.
Gotcha.
Now, around the time that we were doing a 24-hour live stream, Red Dead Online became a thing where you could, you know, play in the Red Dead 2 world, but you're online. You can do like online specific tasks and stuff. And best of all, you didn't need to own the full game of Red Dead 2 to play Red Dead Online. You just had to own like the multiplayer portion, which only cost $5 when it first came out.
Oh, damn. That's a hell of a deal.
Yeah. So around this was coming out around the time a 24-hour live stream was coming out. We were about to do a 24-hour stream. I was interested in playing this. So I was like, let's do this for the 24-hour stream. I got it for all my friends, and, it was going to be great. But then we someone was having an issue getting it installed or getting it to run. And so it was becoming a question of whether or not we were actually going to be able to do it. And then I decided to, boot it up, see if it was, still working for me. Because every time I do a 24-hour live stream, I always, like, every game we're going to play, I boot it up to make sure it's going to work properly. Because there's so many random issues that can pop up, and I want to make sure we're not going to have to deal with those in the middle of the stream. And so that's what I tell my guys to do. That's what I do. I boot up all the games, make sure they're all working.
Yeah.
And so I tried to boot up Red Dead 2, and it would not start.
Oh.
And
Oof.
like, by would not start, I mean, like, I'd go into my computer's task manager and like the application was running, but it wouldn't like actually ever open or become like available to play. It wouldn't even like the application wouldn't become available for me to like click on and like see a black screen. Like, as far as like my accessibility of it, I couldn't even see that it was working until I went into the taskbar and saw that it was running.
Okay.
And so we canceled it for the 24-hour live stream, but then I became curious, like, why did Red Dead 2 all of a sudden stop working? That's kind of weird.
That's weird.
And so I did all of the normal troubleshooting that I do as a gamer when a game doesn't work, because there's a number of issues that can cause this kind of thing. Files being downloaded improperly is a big one, so you always want to like reinstall a game.
Sure.
Steam, the like main way to play games on PC, has like an inbuilt way to like verify that all the game files are correct and installed correctly. So I went and did that. I made sure that my graphics drivers were updated correctly for my graphics card, because if those aren't right, a lot of things can go wrong. I did everything I could think of.
Yeah.
And the game just still would not work.
Okay.
And so eventually I contacted Rockstar support, Rockstar being the company that makes Red Dead.
Yeah.
And I, was like, hey, this isn't working. Here are the things that I did to make it work. It's still not working. Can you help me out here? Here's the thing about every game retailer ever. They have a lot of random what's the word I'm looking for? Optimization issues that don't necessarily have like a root cause that's easily identifiable, because, every computer has different hardware. There's a million different reasons that something cannot work on a certain computer. So They get a lot of requests about games not working, and their solution is, instead of having people talk to a live chat, they have, automatic robot responses that will just give you like the most basic ways to fix something. And if it doesn't work, then you might get connected to an agent, or then you might get, another robo solution.
Right.
So that's exactly what I got. I got a bunch of solutions that I already tried, even though, I listed in my initial thing that I had already tried all that stuff. So I just responded like, I already tried this, until I started getting like some really weird solutions. And so I started trying all those solutions until eventually like Rockstar support just gave up and was like, if you want the game to work, you're going to have to reinstall Windows and basically fucking reinstall your entire fucking computer.
Oh, geez.
So obviously I wasn't fucking doing that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
A massive pain in the ass to like play a game that I'm not even that interested in playing. Like I said, like I liked the game, but I wasn't that into it.
Right.
So here I have this fucking $60 AAA game that I own and cannot refund, that just doesn't fucking work on my computer. And I have no goddamn clue why. Every time I have like a big computer update, every time Red Dead has a big update, I check to see if it works, and it never fucking works. And I don't know why. And I'm pissed. I want my money back.
Oh, did they at any point offer to give you your money back?
No, I straight up said in like one of my emails, I was like, at this point, like I'm tired of trying. Like I either want a solution or I want a refund. Like I know I played this game a bit, so like that maybe like valid like goes against your policy or whatever, but the game doesn't fucking work. So like I feel like that's like special case. Like there should be an option here. There should be like someone I can talk to like get this sorted out. And of course, that never happened.
Yeah. God, sometimes that online like customer service chat thing, like I've never had that actually work for anything.
I've had it work for some things, but it's not usually like tech support issues that it works for. Because again, like I'm a pretty tech savvy guy. I know like the basic solutions to try, and they're always going to try and tell me to use those basic solutions.
Right.
And I'm gonna go back and forth with the robot over these basic solutions until I finally get like an actual person. And a lot of times I end up getting a proper solution then, but this was not one of those times. I had a similar issue with Adobe a while back. I remember being really pissed about this for a long time. There was like a glitch with Adobe with Premiere where it just like wouldn't work with like really large files. And at the time I was making like gameplay videos. So we're talking like 2-3 hour long footage files. Like I didn't have small files. I had large files, and Premiere just wouldn't import them. It would stop responding and crash every time I tried to import a large file like that. So, you know, I tried to get Adobe in on this, and after running through every possible solution they came up with, eventually, legit, this is what they told me. They were like, we'll put it on the list to update, but I don't got anything for you. And it's like, okay, you're not going to offer me like a discount on this software that I can't use the latest version of because it just doesn't work with my footage. And your only solution is, wait for an update to fix it. Like that fucking sucks. That's shit customer service right there.
Yeah, that really is.
And for months, it did not get fixed quickly. For months, I had to use like an old version of Adobe Premiere Pro because like I just couldn't use my footage.
Ugh, that sucks.
Made me so mad. I can't believe they didn't, like, they should have offered me like, get 40% off or even 50% off your $50 a month fucking subscription since you can't use the latest version of our software.
Yeah.
That should have been like the bare minimum response.
Yeah, that sucks, especially because it's like a monthly thing, not, you know, like a one-time purchase.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And especially like, I'm lucky that I wasn't in a place where like I needed like the latest version or that it was like breaking or that it was like monetarily important to me. Like there was a couple, I think like I had to like not put out a video one week because of this issue because I didn't have a solution fast enough.
Yeah.
But like imagine if I was like a freelance editor working for a client and I had to be like, I can't get your shit done. Sorry, I guess I don't get my money because Adobe didn't help me out here.
Right. Oh, God. That sucks.
Like, wait for an update is the worst fucking response ever. I get that like some issues are just like, you know, there's not a lot we can do here, but it should be your absolute priority to find a workaround for someone who's having some inexplicable issue like that, and or to offer them something to like make up for it. And they didn't do either.
Yeah. I recently had an interaction with website customer service. It wasn't a big deal. I was I saw a t-shirt that I liked, and you know, I wanted to buy it, but they were out of my size. And it was like, you know, the little chat thing popped up and it was like, can we help you with anything? And so I typed in like, hey, do you know if or when this item will be back in stock? And, you know, like 2 minutes go by and I get like there are no representatives available. Type in your email address and, you know, someone will contact you within 24 hours. And I thought, I'm a little suspect on whether or not this is actually going to happen, but okay. So I put in my email. Sure enough, the next day I get an email that says, would you please rate your customer service experience?
Excuse me?
And I was like, well,
I didn't have a customer service experience.
I was like, considering nobody ever bothered to contact me, it was pretty bad. And then literally nothing after that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it really wasn't that big of a deal. Like, I wasn't super upset about it, but I wouldn't have even bothered to contact them if there wasn't like that little chat feature available. I would have just let it go. But Yeah, I thought that was pretty shitty.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I never had something like that happen.
Yeah.
Do you ever have issues with like talking to customer service agents and like you're trying to explain whatever like you need from them and they're just like not getting it?
Yeah.
'Cause I have that a lot with like, especially with like my internet provider, because they always outsource their customer service, which like I'm not gonna be that guy. Like if I'm not talking to an American, then I don't want to talk at all. But like sometimes it's really hard to get across like a really specific problem or really specific thing you need to someone who doesn't like speak the language well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you. Well, that can be hard enough with someone who does speak the language because,
Yeah. Sometimes you need a really specific issue.
Yeah. And then they like, they might transfer you to someone else and then they don't understand. And you get transferred to someone else. And now you've explained this 3 times.
Yeah. That's why I never like called Adobe over my like big file issue. Cause I know they outsource their customer service. And I just knew like there was no way I was gonna be able to explain this issue to someone who like doesn't understand the language super well and probably doesn't understand like the editing software super well.
Right. Ugh. Yeah, because they're kind of like generic in terms of what they can solve for you.
Well, that's the thing too. Like the issue, it's almost like the issue is that I'm like a tech savvy person. Like these like generic responses they give that fix 90% of problems are going to work for most people who aren't super tech savvy. It's not going to work for me who's already going to have tried those issues or those solutions.
Right. Like turn it off and turn it back on again. Like the classic.
Yeah. Yeah. Like my friend works in IT and he's had like our good buddy Kanan. He's in IT. He works in IT and he's complained to me about how often he gets calls from people and he has to tell them to do that. And they always like give him almost like a are you serious? You really asked me to do that kind of response? Because they think it's a joke when people tell them to do that, but it legitimately solves so many issues.
It really does. And I mean, whenever I have anything like technology related that doesn't work, that's always the first thing I try. Because
it should be the first thing you try.
Yeah. And I mean, probably a good like 75% of the time that solves it. And I don't have to worry about contacting anybody and wasting my time and theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're having an issue with our printer at work right now. You know how every printer thinks it's low on colors when it actually isn't. And so I'm having this really annoying issue right now where when I go to print something in the morning, it'll prompt me to let me know that the colors are out, and I'll have to confirm everything that I print that it's okay to print it in black and white, which is super fucking annoying.
Lord. Yeah.
But if I just restart the printer, it forgets that it's out of colors for a bit and I can just print all my stuff.
Nice. Ugh. So ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, technology. You fickle bitch.
Oh man, too bad you're not still living around here. I got an email from one of my coworkers. I need to go into your old place of employment tomorrow for work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like not only your place of employment, but the location that you used to work at. I've had to go into the other location in town a couple times, but never your former spot. So,
are you picking up somebody's slack?
Yeah, pretty much, just someone slacking off. No, we help each other out, and that's part of my job. They never ask me to help there, so that's kind of a new one for me. But I think there's like someone in town that they have to meet with or something, so mixing things up a little bit for tomorrow.
Gotcha.
Oh, little update. My buddy Tim, the one that started hiking the Appalachian Trail and then had an ankle injury issue. And him and his family started touring the country in an RV. They are now working for the summer as volunteer park rangers at Yellowstone.
Oh, that's cool as shit.
Yeah, that is really cool. So they're gonna be there. I think through like I think he said like the beginning of September. I talked to him. I don't know, maybe like a week or so ago. So, little update on that. I thought you'd think that was kind of cool because oddly for a gamer, you have your outdoorsy side. So,
yeah, that would be cool. I'd love to do that kind of thing. I mean, you know me, I always loved working for my camp. I never would have stopped if it was like a viable job.
Right. Again, I'm sure we've mentioned this before, but anything that's fun and enjoyable to do as a career is generally not viable as a career.
Yeah, that's facts.
Not to say that I hate my job, but it's not it's not something that I would consider like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. It doesn't feel like I'm working. That kind of thing.
It's either like it's not viable as a job because it just can't pay the bills, or it's really, really, really hard to achieve as a job.
Yeah.
Like what I'm trying to do with Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah. The same goes for like, for jobs that, are like super rewarding. Generally speaking, like, medical is pretty much one of the only things that falls into that category. Because like social workers, like you're like really helping people, but they kind of get paid shit. And same thing with teachers.
Yeah.
But you can be like a piece of shit CEO and get paid a fuck ton of money. So, kind of sucks, but that's life.
That's life. I mean, it's really like, it kind of comes down to like how much do you want to do it? How much are you willing to like give up? Like, I mean, like this is kind of like a micro version because it's not like a huge disparity, but like with me and my job, like I have the skill set to go for like a higher position where I work, but I don't want to because I like my job a lot more. So I take like the lack of promotion potential or like the knowledge that like my career can't really go further from here just because I prefer doing this job so much more.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. Yeah, I think, typically moving up, you completely change your role, and usually with most jobs that usually means you end up going into some sort of management position, which not everybody wants to do.
Yeah. Like it's funny we're talking about this because this is like a thing today. We had like a big audit today from a company that comes in like looks at our like health, our food safety stuff, and like all of the like team leaders and all of a lot of the team members too were like freaking out, like running around trying to get everything ready for like this audit, and there was me just walking around doing my normal shit because like it's the same as like when we get busy for holidays. Like no matter how busy we get, like my job still has to be done, so it's like they can't pull me from what I'm doing to do other stuff.
Right.
And so like our one of the assistant managers of one of the departments I work for was talking about how like it must be really relaxing being me on days like this because like it's not going to have a big impact on me. And I'm like, yeah, it kind of doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, I hear you.
And it's like, yeah, I mean, if I wanted to move into a leadership position, I'd get more money, but then I'd have to be stressed out on days like that.
Right. Yeah.
Or stressed out in general because I'd have to be managing like a team of people who have lots of stupid personal issues that shouldn't really be brought into the workplace at all.
Yeah.
I mean, you were a supervisor at world market, just like me. Like we had to deal with a lot of stuff that was just really dumb.
Yep. Visits and all that kind of crap. Yep. Absolutely.
You want to tell people to just shut up and do their jobs, but they don't. They seem really adverse to doing that.
Yeah. Ugh. Yep. Oh, side note, my boy Mike and his wife Jess and their baby Theo are coming into town on Saturday, and we're gonna go to the Tigers game. So it's gonna be baby Theo's first baseball game.
Now, are you going to be able to recant the story of that adventure, or is this going to be another weekend situation?
No. No, this will be a pretty tame situation. Well, for starters, it's only going to be for the day. And two, I can't speak for Mike, but I think I learned my lesson the last time. I realized that I am officially an old man and should not be doing the kind of things that happened on that weekend that I don't want to talk about.
Getting too old for this shit.
Exactly. Oh God, what's that from Lethal Weapon?
I think that's it.
I think so. Yeah, Danny Glover, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
Those are some solid movies. I haven't seen those in a while. Seen them. Oh, you should. Those are some good ones.
I took kind of a break week this past week. I haven't this is gonna sound like a tangent, but it's related. I haven't felt super great about my streams lately. Like that, if it just feels like they've been lacking. Like not particularly bad, but definitely not like my best work. And so I decided to take like a little break, kind of just I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta take a break and not do something for a bit to like rekindle whatever was working about it before, I guess is how I would describe it when it comes to like creative shit.
Sure.
And so I've been chilling. I've been like reading comics and catching up on movies and stuff. Which has been nice, but I'm pretty behind on like the Marvel movies, which I'm a bit of a fan of, and
yeah.
So I got to watch a couple of the Marvel movies. I watched Black Widow and Shang-Chi, and both pretty good. I mean it's the same thing from as you've come to expect from any Marvel movie. They're not exactly cinematic masterpieces, but it's funny to watch people punch each other.
Right. Nice. Well, that's cool. I finished Stranger Things since the last time we talked. I don't want to give too much away, but they did something a little different with this season. So it's 9 episodes. They released the first 7, and then the final 2 for the season are going to be released July 1st. And the 7th episode I thought was fantastic, super exciting, and I'll kind of leave it at that. But it made me really excited for these last 2 to come out. So
that's good. Do you feel like they're doing a pretty solid job with like the ending so far?
Yeah. I like the first episode. I'd say the first 2 episodes moved along a little bit slow, but they kind of took a little different story arc. Like things ended in season 3 with a lot going on, so they had to like get you caught up on everything that happened. So there wasn't a whole lot of like storyline in terms of like what events were actually happening this season early on. It was a lot of like catch up and where are they now kind of thing. But
gotcha.
Yeah, I'd say like episode 3 or 4, it really started picking up, and 7 was just fantastic. So I have real high hopes for episodes 8 and 9.
I don't know, well, I guess this isn't really a thing Well, no, it is. It's kind of. I don't know how I feel personally about like new seasons of shows being released in batches. Like
yeah, okay.
Like I get it's nice to like be able to binge it, but from like a community perspective, it's not really conducive to like the old thing of like discussing it with your friends and
right.
Like, oh, where's it going to go next? And oh, I can't wait for the next episode. And like, this has been a really big thing with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is an anime, because JoJo's Bizarre Adventure split up into parts, and there's 6 parts that have been animated. The first 5 parts all, were released on a weekly basis until they were done. And they were always released on Friday. So there was, this big thing in the community. Everyone got really excited for JoJo Fridays.
Yeah.
And you'd see all these new memes based on the new episode. You see all this discussion on the new episodes and all this stuff. And it was really fun. It was really cool, like thing to be a part of the community for. And then they decided to animate part 6, and it was being produced by Netflix. And so Netflix was like, no, we're going to release it all in one go. And it completely killed JoJo Fridays. And like, it feels like, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like the discussion about it, the memes about it haven't lasted nearly as long as the other parts did, because, everybody saw what they needed to see and then they moved on.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of disappointing.
I feel the exact same way. And I think that's why I don't really like streaming things unless I have to. It is nice to obviously to be able to binge something, especially something that's only, like 10 episodes or less. But yeah, I kind of like the traditional like broadcast TV format where you get like an episode a week, and then, like stereotypical, like next day at work standing around the water cooler, like everyone's like,
yeah,
oh, did you see
talking
what happened? Yeah. Now it's like, if you don't binge the whole thing, you either have to like hold back and not give out spoilers, or wait for, other people to catch up.
Yeah. It kind of sucks. And it's also like, it's just like completely killed like that discussion aspect. 'Cause it's like, when like a full season comes out, like all the storylines that start in that season get wrapped up the same day in a sense. And I don't know, like there's no room for like theorizing with your friends about where it's going to go next, 'cause you already fucking know.
Right. Yeah.
Like you can talk about like how, like a series, you can talk about like a season cliffhanger or whatever, but you can't talk about like episode to episode what's going to happen next. And it kind of sucks.
Right. Yeah. I guess I do kind of like that they divided it up like this for Stranger Things. It's a little weird that they divided it up 7 and then 2
that
episodes.
Is very strange. But it's very strange.
But now that I've seen the 7, I guess it makes sense, because they kind of left it at like so far like the apex of the action and excitement, where because I think they would have lost people if they did it like midway through, because like I said, it started off a little bit slow, but like I really wish they would have just done it like an episode a week for 9 weeks. That would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, like I get it. It's fun to binge something, but and if we're talking like purely from a solo viewing experience, I do think I prefer being able to binge something. But when I'm actually like engaged in what I'm watching and I'm trying to like experience it with people, I prefer like the weekly episode, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. Something that's such like a like social phenomenon like Stranger Things has been. Yeah, that would make a lot more sense to do it in a weekly format.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. I just prefer it personally. I really do.
Yeah. No, on the opposite side, I got a message from Mike's wife Jess last night telling me that a game show that the three of us had watched, God, this would have been, I think, like summer 2020, on Netflix, called The Floor is Lava, which is a real goofy game show. It was like a 10 episode first season, but she was like, "Oh my gosh, there's new episodes." And I looked, and it's like a 5 episode second season that just came out. I think it was like June 3rd. Like that, I don't care. It's 5 episodes of a stupid game show. Like,
right, like there's nothing to discuss in between episodes.
Right, that's fine. Release it all at once. If I want to watch them, fine. If not, I can spread them out. It doesn't matter. So for that, cool. I'm happy that it's available for me to binge if I want to. But no, nothing with an ongoing plot that I want to talk about with people. Especially.
Yeah, I'm even like.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm even like personally, like I'm starting to like fall off of like binging stuff. Like binging is fun. It's like a cool thing to do, but when it comes to like shows or I mean anything really that I binge, I feel like I can't really retain it as well when I binge it.
Yeah,
because there's just like so much information coming at me at once. Like when I get like really into something and I watch or read all of it right away, I fucking forget a ton of stuff. And then it's like, it's not as valuable to me as like a piece of media. And then I try to think back on it like a few months later and I can't remember jack shit about it. And like even recently, like I've had to be a little more careful about that. I started reading. So we talked a long time ago about a show called Invincible that was pretty popular at the time. Invincible is a show based on a comic. And so I really liked Invincible as a show. I really like comics. So I decided to pick up the comics and I was reading them like crazy, like too much. And I like tried to think back on like certain events and I was like, how the fuck, what was the like order of events here? And so recently I've been trying to be careful about like reading too much at any given point because I want to be able to retain it better and really experience it and enjoy it. Like Invincible has like 25 volumes. I'm at like volume 15 and I'm intentionally like not continuing to read further at the moment because I want to like ruminate on what I just read.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how it was with this season of Stranger Things so far. Like my dad likes it too. And, we only watched one together, but the rest of them we watched separate, and they're all at least an hour. The 7th episode I think was like an hour and 40 minutes. And here I'm like watching them all and I get through them and then he gets through all of them and we're talking on the phone and we're talking about it and he's like, "Wait, what happened at this one part?" And I'm like, I don't remember. And so I have to like Google it. And it's like, I literally just watched this. Like,
yeah, it's not a good feeling.
No, it's not. Yeah. So whatever. But I am looking forward to those last 2. So they got me hooked.
Well, I hope they live up to whatever you want the ending to be. Breakroom Nachos, we're going to go on a 2-month hiatus and then release 8 episodes at once. So we'll see you guys then. Talk to you later.
Later.